Well, my call to get my quote on Wikipedia may have been short-sighted. The Skyrim page is pretty much on lockdown. That's a no-go. But then Future Storm gave me a hot tip. Instead, we edited the German Wikipedia. I mean, it was deleted immediately, but it's in the history. So, let's end this series. Just like the Oddities and Treasures before, these are some of the leftover votes. These are some of the games I decided to check out. If I put every vote in a video, I'd die before finishing this series. Oh, and last time we did this, I said something silly like, it would take me 8 months to cover the entire Kingdom Hearts saga and put it in an adventure. Currently, that would be optimistic for just one game. Look, anytime I make a prediction, what you have to do is multiply it by my prediction. Okay, first vote.
Ninja Bread Man. Are you shitting me? We're still doing this? Here's the footage again. What more is there to cover? It's a 20-minute game with terrible controls. The joke has been played out for a while now.
One more thing. Last time we did this, I just commented on some trailers, which was kind of lame. This time I'll play, yes, Brenda, I see you over there.
Well, yeah, Storm, you got a stupid vote, so here I am.
Okay. Think I'm calming down now, I'm alright.
Oh, Storm, I'd like you to meet my son, Brandon.
Brandon? Oh, ain't that clever.
Brenda, get your fat ass back in here and clean up!
Sorry, Storm. This is my
Your brother, Dusty. His reputation precedes him. Now, Storm, with his Call of Duty games? Okay, talking brooms, I'm out. Okay, everyone's made their cameo. I think we can proceed with the video now.
Well, we won't be far. I'm sure there's more votes like this.
We can only hope.
Catherine. One vote to highlight, Reboy GTR. Still waiting for that Catherine video. Well, bro, I'm still waiting for that online petition. I was really hoping that would happen. It's that kind of external support that would show people in my immediate circle that Stormday Productions can be a real presence, and not just a hobby to piecemeal across never given extra time. This is how you see the death of Telstorm What to Play in the yearly best ofs. This is how Road to 8 Hours never gets fully realized and the Dreamcast side project becomes sluggish. And months of squalor are spent developing so many series that just evaporate. Gesha Otia is just a distant memory. Nothing moves. Everyone is disappointed. This is how you get one video a year. Catherine. We got this on the PlayStation 3 because boobs smell better than butts. Generally. A dude soon to be engaged to Catherine finds himself in bed with another girl after a night of heavy drinking. This girl is another Catherine. From there he finds himself in a web of lies as he has to maintain to keep his institutional fiancée Catherine and the fun-loving Catherine. Here's how the gameplay proceeds. Sarah would play the easy input evening conversations with friends and drinking, agonizing over the dilemma of two girlfriends. Once difficult gameplay began, Sarah threw the controller at my chest and I would have to do the heavy lifting to move the game along. His nightmares would play out as semi-constructed staircases that need to be climbed to escape his true fears manifested. The gaps in the staircase had to be filled by moving the blocks around and puzzle solving how to get up the entire structure before it collapses. There are glimpses of originality as I've never played anything like it. However, this goes on forever! Even as special blocks and special powers are slowly introduced, you're still pushing blocks for hours. Is there any resolution to the double girlfriend situation? Probably. We played this so long ago, I don't remember. There are likely multiple endings to Catherine, but I had a singular ending. The glee of putting the controller down and putting that game in the past. Dong dong never die. I know I'm in serious trouble when I have to look up a game and there are no results in the Steam search. Oh boy, downloading a game from a not-so-English website. The FBI should be breaking down my door any second now. Okay, this is legitimately funny. But from my understanding of Asian culture, I'm not so sure that was intended. I don't know how to describe this. It's a 2D fighter that looks slapped together, but slapped together with love. I would like to stick around and see how over the top it gets. However, that means I would have to actually have some skill with fighting games. There was a little confusion when I was counting the votes. There were a couple of votes for D4 Dark Dreams Don't Die. And looking at the trailer, I think I would get more entertainment from my 10 minutes with Never Die than this anime quick time. Oh shit, sorry, I said no trailers. Yoshi's Woolly World. The deception here is evil. Yeah, really cutesy, soft looking game. Holy shit, it's really hard. It is the left to right, get to the end type of game we are familiar with of the Mario and Yoshi's Island ilk, and you begin on the comfortable, soft green Yoshi hills before descending into hell. Every level has something to drill spikes into your skull. I can move this knitted chomp chain to knock things over. Cool, but now I have to figure out how to get it to move with me. Note to self, the ghouls are invincible behind the curtain. I gotta face away from the boos and shoot them backwards? Oh, bouncing bubbles, this shouldn't be too hard. Daddy, I don't want to ride the balloons. But this appears to be the genius of Yoshi's Woolly World. For all the difficulty, there are so many ways to soften the experience. It's like Bastion inverted. Right from the beginning, hovering over you like a global variable, you get to play in classic or mellow mode. Mellow allowing you to float Yoshi forever. My family plays this way and I don't approve. I consider that Game Genie level of cheating. Next hand-holding method is badges. Throughout the levels, you collect gems, and these gems can be turned in at the beginning of levels for a badge. You could bring Poochie along, or produce large yarn balls, or have infinite watermelon seeds. Yowza. I took a vow of poverty, so I never spent any of my gems. Once in a while, they'll offer you a badge for free for a limited time. I had to check my bank account occasionally, afraid that I stumbled into a freemium game. Then there's amiibo support. Now it's getting meta. What do the Yarn Yoshis do? Not a clue, but I own a bunch of them. I got Yarn Yoshi amiibos coming out of my ass like eggs. No, just let that one go. I have 2 Poochie amiibos and a copy of the 3DS game. I even have a Mega Yarn Yoshi. I don't even know why.
Yo, Yoshi ain't shit.
I don't even care about it. But I beat the game without any of the power-ups, and I think that is an accomplishment in itself. I will point out that beating it does not entail all those extras. Maybe you beat the entirety of the game by getting all those loose yarns, flowers, decorated stamps, and with full health. Maybe you like that. Maybe you like games like Cuphead and the monotony of dying is cool. And maybe you enjoy slamming your hand in a waffle iron, to each his own. There are 6 worlds in total, so not the traditional Mario 8. At the same time though, the levels are substantially longer and less linear than most Mario games. And you know why? No time limit. What's the game about? Things are good, things are bad, kill him. Splatoon. I never bought Splatoon because I don't want it. I participated in the Wii U Splatoon Global Test Fire, and here's my review. Yep, it's multiplayer. Farm Simulator 2015. I always thought this was a gag game. Seriously, do we need to go any further than Harvest Moon? But biennial releases? Someone's buying it. Well, good thing I take forever to make a video because I picked up the Switch version at the Toys R Us going out of business sale. I mean, it was like 70% off and just sitting there. This appears to be Farm Simulator 2017, so forgive me, I'm straying a little. I launched straight into the game, no real expectations. I opened the pause menu, and on the way to inverting the y-axis, I saw detailed farming stats and foresaw crushing boredom. Well, maybe I'll just stick around for the tutorial. Hey, I can free control the truck. Okay, still boring. Shower with Your Dad Simulator 2015. Do you still... What? Another one of those votes just to see my response. Okay. This game is 210 megabytes. How? I'm not sure if YouTube would be cool with me showing this, but whatever. I've talked about Rayplay before. So, here goes. Shower with Your Dad Simulator 2015. Do you still shower with your dad is a single screen, one-dimensional, score-based time attack, precision platformer with 3 naked dads. You gotta find the right dad. The load screen is one of many dad jokes, which I should and do find hilarious. Then the game starts. I'm speechless. You know what? For this vote, this is the punishment you guys get. Well, hopefully that was easier to sit through than Robin Williams bleeding from the eyes. The game is okay and scarring. Parappa the Rapper. Oh, this vote takes me back. Way back in the summer of 2002, I blew 2 entire paychecks to buy myself a new PlayStation 2, Jak and Daxter, Grand Theft Auto 3, Dark Cloud, and a DVD rental of the theatrical release of Fellowship of the Ring. Also in the mix, with full consideration that the PlayStation 2 was 100% backwards compatible with the original PlayStation, I picked up Parappa the Rapper. I had no clue how I heard about this game, but it looked funny. It's a rapping, match-the-buttons, rhythm-type game in a world that had yet to be saturated with rhythm games. I could never get past the recipe level, and it was frustrating as shit. I know I was hitting the right buttons on time. Looking back, maybe the PlayStation 2 wasn't 100% compatible. Maybe I could rock this on the intended hardware. The more I do this Storm's Adventure show, the more I've come to realize that this is just a cathartic experience for my formative years. You're all witnessing my therapy. Okay, first level is the Onion Head Dojo Master, perfectly in range of Japanese weirdness. Then the Moose Driving Instructor. Oh, I suppressed this years ago. The frog selling junk in the flea market. Getting harder now. Alright, the Chicken on the Cooking Show. And it's still impossible. PlayStation 2 emulation is perfect. Yeah, I'm not wasting any more time on this. I don't feel totally bad as there is only 6 actual levels, but I kinda wish I didn't give this another try. That reggae frog is going to infect my nightmares again! Five Nights at Freddy's. I do recall seeing some footage when this game was new to the world, and I thought it was a horror game. But then I started to see the characters on children's paraphernalia. Must be good. I grabbed it on Steam and jumped in cold. What a disappointment. So, all I do is sit in this booth and look at security cameras? I get it. It's creepy. The Chuck E. Cheese-like animatronics walk around at night, and if they see you, you get a mascot head shoved on and you die. It's effective. No real movement, and you just click around on the security cameras and whoa, the bear is missing, and then you see it staring at you on another camera in a location closer to you. The only defense is shutting the doors and turning on lights, but that uses energy, and if you run out, you die. Why would this be considered fun? Again, I get it. You proved the point that less is more, especially in suspense. I abandoned this unnerving game pretty quickly, but they still got my $10. Damn it. Bully Scholarship Edition. Rockstar doesn't throw Nintendo consoles a bone very often, so when they do, I jump on it. Rockstar has yet to float a GTA our way, and when it comes to Red Dead, to quote Grand Theft Auto 3, like I give a shit. Now, grabbing this at release does mean I had it during the Wii.tv/HearMe days, but Lotto X, our Australian correspondent, had the review covered. I'm glad this is another vote I didn't have to pay for. And I have no clue what is special about Scholarship Edition. I did crack the game open on an Easter weekend when a high school friend was visiting me in Reno. Yes, this is the same friend that had the Girl Scout Mafia after him. I remember we played the game until I acquired a bat and smacked a prefect. We laughed hysterically, promptly shut the game off, and watched AMV Hell 0. Originally released on the PlayStation 2, Bully was a special one-off flavor of the Grand Theft Auto formula. Calling it a T-rated Grand Theft Auto wouldn't be accurate, neither would a senator calling it a Columbine simulator be accurate. Bully follows Jimmy Hopkins, a 15-year-old troublemaking brat dropped off at the Bulworth boarding school. But Jimmy is a surprisingly intelligent and resourceful kid. The school is split into different factions, and each chapter of the game is dedicated to him befriending and working in favor of each of the cliques. The game proceeds like a GTA game, being broken up into missions, but let's talk differences. Right off the riff, no guns. At least, no lethal guns. The potato shooter is a good way to take down a jock. Most of the combat is done hand-to-hand, or as we call it in the gaming community, vehicles, the gateway appeal of GTA, are not really a thing here. The main hub of the game is the campus, but the game opens up to a New Englandish town after the first chapter. You can sketch on bumpers or ride a bicycle if you happen to cross one. I avoided bikes because I would always run into adults and the police would come get me. So there you go, cops are still a problem. There was one mission that gives you a ride-on lawnmower, but you are literally on it for a fraction of a second. Main difference is you have to go to class. Bully is a game centered around high school, so twice a day you'll have to find the classroom and play the mini-games. Classes like chemistry, music, and shop brought back the terror of Waggle! Hey, the Wii was a great system, but it inadvertently created some dark times. Other classes like math, geography, and biology made great use of the Wii remote pointer. I'm not showing biology class because I didn't record any biology footage. Because I didn't want to look at it again. Now, you definitely want to go to class because it unlocks abilities for you to use in your evening missions. Kind of like the Saints Row 3 leveling system. I'm sorry, Saints what? Being on a schedule and the absolute need to sleep against the rock and roll all night and crash every day of the GTA brethren can be seen as a drag, but I think it adds a Majora's Mask feel to the game. I promise to never compare Zelda and Rockstar again.
The only signs of traditional gameplay are in some Zelda mechanics.
Yes, I'm retroactively sorry. Swing your arms all day. Control sticks are so gay. This is how we play. Down at Waggle Rock. Depression Quest. Alright, so this is a thing? I can always trust you guys to inform me about all the hot games I never knew about. The intro text warns that this game may affect you and not to proceed if you have suicidal thoughts. What, me? Nah, I certainly don't struggle with that. And again, I hear the talking point, the stigma of mental illness. I don't quite understand that. When you live with somebody who is mentally ill, it's never a joke. It's more like, oh boy, I wonder what's waiting for me on the other side of the door when I get home. Should I bet on red or black? By now, I can see the game is just text, which used to be a big no-no to record and play back because it would look like chicken scratch on a CRT television. You play through a scenario of a young adult, male, I presume, alive and not satisfied. At the end of a read, you get to choose your own adventure, and the obvious happy choice is crossed out because you're depressed. You get off your job, try to do some homework, girlfriend urges you to the potty, mother visits, and I hit the reset button. Ugh! Speedrun! Reading this story just pissed me off. You're using your illness as a crutch, and at a low level, an attention-getting mechanism. It's an invisible force that you get to blame for the cause of all your problems and missed opportunities. Oh, you're depressed? Well, boo friggin' who? So what, you used to be semi-internet famous, and now you live in a household that seems engineered to prevent you from working on your personal projects? Nobody cares! Hotline Miami. In fact, the vote from Super Destroy Man asked for a 20-second review. Okay, start the clock. Not really sure what's going on, but wow, look at that Super Nintendo violence. Fun and rewarding premise, clear the floor of baddies to proceed, but it really reminds me of Perfect Dark Game Boy Color. Enemies instantly see you and every shot hits you. Not to mention one-shot kills. This game is firmly outside my likability. I don't have the time to grind out 1,000 deaths just to beat a Need for Speed. What, the original? The movie? Oh, the 2015 release was just called Need for Speed. Apparently this is considered a reboot. I had no idea that Need for Speed was ever contiguous. And it looks like Criterion has been relieved of their Need for Speed duty, and now on to Ghost. Uh-oh. Check the steering! Check the steering! It's not the best. Okay, the tires can be changed. The fully filmed cutscenes remind me of my short time with Carbon. Not quite as make-funnable as Carbon, but notable for the mixed augmented reality of superimposing a full render on a pre-render with the live action being the pre-render, and that's why the PlayStation did not have better graphics than the Nintendo 64. That made sense in my head. You're discovered during an illegal street race and introduced to an eclectic crew, and of course the mechanic is a girl. Hey, call me sexist. Really, call me sexist. Maybe the social justice warriors can drive some traffic to the channel. Where was I? Inclusionism can be distracting. Look, I've been in the computer science field for years, and the population of female hackers portrayed in mass media, a bit exaggerated. They'll introduce you to different driving events, and you'll earn rep, the equivalent to XP. I like that the game isn't super serious, and I enjoy the arcade driving style. How do I put this softly? Burnout 2 wasn't the best in the series, but I like Burnout 2 better than this Need for Speed. The endless trips to one garage to do all your upgrades, and you know how I complained about races ending at the wind farm at Burnout Paradise? Well, Need for Speed is the equivalent of like 4 wind farms. And a retry option? Better catch that before you finish the race or you'll be assed out miles away from the event start that you just lost. Also, you can't pause the game. I ran into this paradox with Dark Souls 2. Sure, you can press the menu button, but the action will keep running in the background. And I know the reason, server connectivity. I don't have to like it. Final point, I'm not exactly sure how to beat the game. There are events to complete with your crew, plus at level 25, Eddie's challenges open. But eventually I was blocked on all fronts by these impossible score attacks. It's like stunt runs from Burnout Paradise, where catching air doesn't count. EA, that's bullshit! I covered up the pain by purchasing a Lamborghini, upgraded the horsepower to over 1,000, and called it a night. Glotero's vote is for Mario Party 2. Or 3. We'll go with 2 because I have that one on the Wii Virtual Console. I've been party to a discussion of why the second one is the best in the series. I don't know. Bunch of mini games to me. I borrowed Mario Party 2 in high school and just played it alone. And this is when I first started playing as Peach. Why not? Nobody's looking. These were the Mario Party games that set precedents for what makes a good minigame game. Roll the dice to move, get to the star first and pay 20 coins to buy it, earn the coins in the minigames, player with most stars at the end of turns wins. The random plunger minigame is near to my heart because hearing Donkey Kong die to the explosion killed me with laughter. And you know what? The same game appeared on Mario Party 4. Not as funny as the original. Rayman Origins. I snatched up Rayman Origins for free on Uplay, Ubisoft's Steam, or rather Ubisoft's Origin. As part of a 30-year celebration, log in on 6 consecutive months and get 6 free games. I got Beyond Good and Evil, Blood Dragon, Prince of Persia, Rayman, and Splinter Cell. I forgot on the last month and missed out on Assassin's Creed 3, but I already have that covered for whenever I get around to it. Which will be never. Awesome, 2D platforming and not a rabbit in sight. Rayman is back! I mean, it's been back for a while. Ubisoft wasn't giving away new games, but this is really good. Well-paced, evenly challenged, left to right, collect the magic objects adventure. I couldn't tell you much about the plot, something to do with these fairies. These fairies are the only thing I could remember, and what made me remember them made me forget everything else. Peggy 7. The art is great, each area different and new, and incredibly diverse music. I hear that? Yeah. There's a place in France where the naked women dance. It's funny because Ubisoft is based in France, and I'm sorry, this is not the game I remember. I played a Rayman demo on the Wii U on an in-store display, and I kind of remember a level that was synchronized with rock music. Hey Google, Rayman on the Wii U.
Rayman games for Wii U include Rayman Legends, Rayman Origins.
Oh, it was Rayman Legends! And would you look at that? There's a free demo on Uplay. Castle Rock. Yeah, that was it. Whoa, Black Betty, babadam, Black Betty, babadam, Black Betty had a job, babadam, everything got wild, babadam, babadam. Oh, marvelous! Well, I'm good. Pokemon Red. Or Blue. Man, where's my Fire Red cartridge? I had a Charizard that was unstoppable. And not much else. Well, I do have the originals, and Pikachu Yellow, and another one. Oh yeah, Crystal. I picked up all of these on eBay, and, typical me, I never played through any of them. But I found something special on this Blue. Check this out. So, this is Pokemon Blue version, right? Now, look at the save file. Wow, that is a lot of hours. This Jason guy put a lifetime into this cartridge. And odds are it was more than 255 hours, because the number of hours is probably stored in a byte, and a byte is 8 bits, counting up by powers of 2 in binary. The technical limitation would be 255, but of course we all knew that. The save file is just before the Elite Four, and his Raichu absolutely obliterates Lorelei's Pokemon. Looking further into the player profile, he has more money than God. I'm beginning to wonder if he exploited some glitch. Of course, I'm not going to delete this save and start my own campaign. This is far too valuable. I have another idea. And to kick off this idea, let me begin with a story from the year of our Lord 2000. I bought my Nintendo 64 from a listing in the nickel ads. I bought it off of an older lady who got it for her grandkids, but she couldn't figure out how to connect it to the television. Can't really blame her. It was a rough time as the industry moved away from the RF modulator and into AV cables. I paid $130, practically new, and it is the very N64 I use today. And what game was included in my purchase? Pokemon Stadium, because it was for the grandkids. Yes, I own Pokemon Stadium, and it was the only cartridge I have ever defaced. It was also the single game I had for the system for an entire week before we could go back into town and buy GoldenEye, which was the reason I wanted a Nintendo 64. I didn't know anything about Pokemon then. I was in high school and Pokemon was for babies. All those years ago, I tried the Stadium aspect, but all the loaner Pokemon were duds. If you wanted to get anywhere, you had to bring your own. The remaining fond memory with Pokemon Stadium were those throwaway minigames. I played these with my younger sister and we would piss ourselves laughing. The lick of tongues eating the sushi and getting the hot one was the funniest thing on the planet. The Diglett ring toss was good too. We had no clue it was saying Ekans. It sounded like gibberish. But we imagined the winning snake would be saying, sack it, sack it. Well, bundled with the game is the transfer pack, so let's put that to use. Only about 6 Nintendo 64 games utilize the transfer pack, and I own 2 of them. I win? Let's enter the no level limit tournament and see what Jason left for us. A lot of Pokemon. Holy crap, he has 5 level 100 Mewtwo's? Jason, you are my role model. Okay, I'll take one of those into battle. I don't know if you need to be told this, but a level 100 Mewtwo pretty much steamrolls any competition Pokemon Stadium attempted to throw at me. I also finally explored the Dark Castle, with Mewtwo of course. It's actually all the gym battles from Generation 1. I cleared that in no time, but the reward for beating all the gyms is a level 5 Squirtle. Thanks, I guess. Jason, wherever you are, thank you for the hand up. My Pokemon Stadium sat untouched for years, and your cartridge helped heal some deep mental scarring. Now, if I could just get the same for Castlevania 2, Vortex, and Rad Racer. Rad Racer? BioShock Infinite. No, I don't much feel like calling it BioShizzle anymore. That was actually another stolen joke, by the way. I attempted to play BioShock New when I was passed a pirated PC disc from a friend. In Black Sharpie, the disc reads BioShizzle. I installed it on my PC that night. A fool's errand, really. This was the PC crippled by Doom 3, so BioShizzle didn't even launch. BioShock 2? Yep, never touched it. I played a little of Infinite before. I think I participated in an online poll and I bought the Steam code for a penny, something like that. What little I did play was just not terrible, bearing in mind that I didn't like the original BioShock at all. It was like when the first Iron Man movie was in theaters and everyone loved it. I was in agreement from the standpoint of, yeah, it was not a horrible waste of time. An action movie that made good on the promise of action. Huh, how odd. Down to BioShock Infinite. The beginning was actually very cool, even for an unfan like me. You're going out to the middle of the ocean and there it is, the BioShock Lighthouse. But this is before the original BioShock, and this time you're headed up, up, up into another man-made utopia, Columbia. And this city is actually still functioning. The mission is find Elizabeth and your debt is erased. Soon you wear out your welcome and the shooting begins in this first-person shooter. I understand the praise for level design and that atmosphere bullshit. First thing that matters to me, it's a real shooter, not the hokey halfway shooter survival horror of the original. Even better, that karma system has been ditched. Plasmids are still here in the form of vigors. It's a bit of gory fun to play with. I do like that you get right to finding Elizabeth. She's not an unattainable goal chased until the end of the game, and she helps in the fight. But if you find her early on, what is done with the rest of the time? Well, it's BioShock. Oh, you thought you could slip one past me. The power blows on that ski lift that would have brought you right to the goal, so now we have to go find a way to restore the power. You're sidetracking. Admittedly, it's not as bad and blatant as the first, but close to the end, to access a house, you have to access a tomb, which cascades into a fetch quest. So, BioShock Infinite didn't pass the test. For an explanation of the test, see Storm's Adventure with Kills 1 Schadenfreude. But the shooting fun was enough to drive me to the end. The whole of BioShock is a mystery that is explained in the last 10 minutes of cinematic gameplay, concluding in probably the most twisted and convoluted ending in video game history. What do I think of the ending? Yeah, well, I'd tell you if I understood it. At some point during my time with Infinite, I uncovered a suppressed memory. When the Wii U was officially revealed, the E3 where we stopped calling it Project Cafe, Nintendo had a nicely prepared video with some bigwig third-party guys' reactions to the gamepad, including Ken Levine, the creative director of the BioShock series. And us Nintendo fanboys were like, "Aw shit, BioShock Infinite's coming to Wii U!" Ken Levine was interviewed the next day by some website and he corrected, no, he's just excited to buy a Wii U. Not a chance BioShock is coming to Nintendo. Same E3. John Riccatello, the CEO of Electronic Arts, came to the stage and pledged his support to Nintendo. And we were like, "Aw shit! Battlefield 3's coming to Wii U!" I mean, probably. Release date was never given. So, aw shit! Battlefield 4's coming to... forget it! What a carrot and stick situation. Dark Souls Remastered. Good thing I take forever to make a video. Not only did I wait for the Dark Souls re-release, I legitimately sat through the Switch version delay. Yeah, vote for Dark Souls because it's a hard game. I get that, and I've never played a Demon or Dark Souls before, so why not dive in now? When the game starts up, you're escaping a prison and given a tutorial with text that lacks finesse. These pop-ups are just fugly. Very shortly, you're facing the first boss. Alright, time to prove my salt as a gamer. Triumph over a boss in a difficult game. After a few attempts and attacks from above, I did it. And I'm having fun. On to the next area via a giant bird. Spoiler alert, I stopped having fun. Every direction is death. Even after I grinded to level up to use the obnoxious what? It's Zweihänder! It's German for two-hander. Oh, thanks, Future Storm. That kind of makes sense. Heading into the catacombs, the ghosts are unaffected by my weapons, and running away doesn't work because there's too many. Heading through the graveyard, I can beat the skeletons if I take them down one at a time, and the giant skeleton is a patient kill. But then in the cave, the skeletons don't stay down and running away doesn't work because there's too many. Great. An impossible game for the sake of being impossible. I understand that many gamers like this, and the spirit of Nintendo Hard in this game requires a lot of thinking and discovery. Who am I to be a party pooper yelling, "It's too hard," when Dark Souls is already enjoyed by many others, spawning sequels, but seriously, I quit here. Oh, not because of the difficulty. It's because... Why does he have to moan like that when he's in pain? The true difficulty is trying to concentrate while the main character sounds like he's getting service constantly. At least I rage quit for a legit reason.
And you, sir, are staying in your box.
Guitar Hero Live. Good thing I take forever to make a video. Oh. In the back of my mind, I still have this idea for a video called Rhythm Games, What I Miss. Basically to pick up where I left off with the Rock Band 2 video and look at all the games in the genre during its decline and death. I even have footage from the Guitar Hero Metallica video that I never made. Now that idea has been screwed up with this vote, and the fact that I bought this at the Toys R Us going out of business sale. I gotta talk about this. So the direction of this Guitar Hero is different in that you play in front of a live audience. Like, actually filmed. How is this gonna work? We kind of abandoned the idea of live footage as gameplay after the Sega CD era. Good job on at least taking the plunge. Hey, a Bichon Frigé! I got one of those. The same theory as before. You play well, the audience loves you. You suck, the audience scowls at you. As a filmmaker, I try to say that with a straight face. I wondered how they could make a live audience dynamically change opinion at non-deterministic points in the song. As best as I can tell, it's a lazy multipass setup. And perhaps due to the expensive and clustered nature of filming groups, the song list is considerably shorter compared to previous entries in the franchise. Maybe GHTV filled the gap, but let's not live in the past. Without a hint of snarky, I want to say that I am impressed with the live audience setup, if for nothing other than they made it work. I mean, I filmed with a maximum of like 5 people, and it's herding cats. No one is ever on the same page when you yell action. The game progresses through different venues with different styles, and to a point, it felt like I was going through the motions again. Play the song to get to the next song, and play that to get to the next. I am so in the dark musically, all these songs I've never heard before. Well, that is until... Bangarang? Does that even have a guitar? Or lyrics that a live human could repeat? The song began, and it was so joyous. This tangle of noises is so much fun to play, like Before I Forget in number 3 or Cowboys of Hell in the original. There was such great energy in the live footage, everyone smiling and giving you big ups. Near the end, these hot bitches come on stage and dance with you. Even if you're playing bad, the hot bitches come on stage, but they act like bitches. After that high, the game fell back into the same pattern, favoring popular songs of the day instead of actual rock. The fun of the franchise is dancing across the notes, not listening to a melody. Oh, and Activision? You already did this song. We get it. He doesn't look like Jesus. I don't look like Jesus, and you don't hear me making a big deal out of it. And I suppose now's a good time to mention the new guitar. Now with only 3 frets, but 2-dimensional. Not much else to say, it's just as mind-bending as trying to pick up drums. The obvious counteraction to Guitar Hero Live is Rock Band 4. But Rock Band 4 wasn't in the pile at the Dying Giraffe, so I don't have a copy. Maybe I could get a look in what I miss.
It's not gonna happen.
Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. Definitive because it began on the Wii U, and just like GameCube to Wii, we're doing Wii U to Switch. It also made a stop at the 3DS. It's almost the same situation with Super Mario Maker. Before 2 was announced, the internet was a fun place. Speculate, lie about a rumor. Put question marks in your title so your lie can't be called into question. Put it in a top 10 list. Pardon me, guys, I have to feel my child's reaction to Gears of War. I don't know. The point I'm trying to make is boycott top 10 videos. We don't need any more polluting this site. And I'm all in on this boycott. Yes, this includes my top 10 videos. You've seen the videos. You can decide which is best. Developed by Team Ninja, Hyrule Warriors is really Dynasty Warriors rebranded, and every Dynasty Warriors is really the same game. At least that's what Jim Sterling told me. And it's promising to see Nintendo loosen its grip on the Zelda franchise. Not that I can blame them for being cautious.
My boy!
Link and friends are duking it out, not in dungeons, but instead on the battlefield. And still without voiceovers. The enemy this time isn't Ganon, though it's a sure bet that Pig will at least show up. Instead, an evil sorceress called Central Intelligence Agency. With her on the scene, you can see just how Japanese this game is. How Japanese is it? Oh, well,
I think that's a nipple!
For an obvious Japanese title, I must congratulate the dev team on minimal use of the piano. Back to business. The gameplay centers around commanding the Hyrule Battalion and really leading the battle against overwhelming enemy forces. There are a good number of playable Zelda characters with different attack styles and abilities, and I gotta say, it's pretty damn good. It is very cool, in the nerd sense of cool, seeing the dynamics of medieval battle and strategy of where to focus an attack. I've been interested in this sort of thing since watching Lord of the Rings. I say watch because reading, snore. Hey, don't shit on me. I read Lord of the Rings in high school. It sucked! To fill this world with enemies, CIA opened time portals to 3 different Hero of Time events. Ugh, where does this fit in the timeline? Hyrule Warriors is linked to Skyward Sword. Boo. Twilight Princess. Yippee! And Ocarina of Time, cause that one hasn't been oversold. So we're reintroduced to Girahim and his awkwardness. Really cool seeing Darunia and Ruto at Wii U level graphics, but disappointed we didn't get to see Team Ninja skank up Saria. And Midna is playable along with Agatha? That psycho bitch with the bugs? Wasn't too enthused for her return, but seeing her in battle with that parasol? I think I have a new waifu. I played through the whole game and I had fun, but I guess we're gonna have to slough this off as Zelda Extended Universe. No, it's a really good game. I mean, we're all gonna stand here and act like we don't know that Zelda has a secret identity? And perhaps the most offensive move, Darunia was under the spell of the sorceress and leads an attack on your Hyrule forces. After you knock some sense into him, he apologizes. Oh, sorry, I didn't know what I was doing. Nah, we aight. Just as long as you're okay with me after I killed thousands of Gorons. Oh, and Future Storm informed me that Po is actually a child's word for butt in German. Do what you want with that knowledge. Super Mario Maker. I guess I could talk about this next since I just brought it up. The Mario game that lets you make the levels. What else is there to say? It's great! While my creativity with level design is limited, how awesome is it to be online and never run out of Mario levels? I remember complaints and online reviews saying Nintendo should have been on this 10 years ago with independent tools readily available on the PC. Well, it's here now, so rejoice! Cable television is 15 years behind and still hasn't caught up! Also, restricting tools until played for a number of days was a draconian design concept, but come on guys, think. The Wii U is not self-aware. There are ways to get around this. Mario Maker has a number of modes that structure the madness, but just plucking any of the top-rated levels is great fun. Now, I don't know if this is a common thing for games with player creations, but before you can submit a level, you have to beat it yourself first. Oh ho, I see you've poured me some wine. Okay, you drink it first. It eliminates the possibility of poison. I'm just gonna throw it out anyway. Wine is putrid. Why would anybody drink something that tastes like bile? All I'm saying is, as a Mario fan, when I came across a level named Kaizo College, I knew Nintendo enabled something legendary. Nier. Or Nier. I don't think the title is ever spoken. What is Nier or Nier? Nier! The game kind of begins in 2049. Only 30 more years until you're watching an old video. You control the main guy, by whatever name you give him, taking shelter from a forever winter and trying to take care of his daughter, Yona. Yeah, getting those parenting pains right now. And because pain equals greatness, I guess, I'll just brace myself for Yona's death. The first hint at gameplay shows this is a hack and slash. Oh ho ho ho, the genre I like, but I'm terrible at. Whenever I talk about a hack and slash, I feel like a phony because I don't have an English accent. How about this? Obscure PS3 games! Yes, I'm making this a thing. Yeah, it seems this game has some level of obscurity as I've learned about its existence from Telstorm What to Play, and picking up a used copy carried a heavier price. So you fight these Twilight Princess creatures until you run back to dying Yona. Called it! And then it's 1300 years later. Right. Well, Dude and Yona are looking pretty good for their age. Damn, Yona still has that cough. The world is in the post-apocalypse, so no fighting and killing over the last working generator. Society has started over and has been started over for some time. Dude makes a living doing odd jobs in and around the town, which slowly transitions into questing into ancient temples. And the temples are Zelda fun without the Zelda formula. The goal becomes collect some magical words that will cure Yona. This is where I'm a phony. I'm blowing through the game on easy difficulty, using the same 4-button combo, and the combo is the same button 4 times. But I'm still having a good time! The boss battles are great, and the cutscenes are top-notch. The characters met along the way are an interesting lot that I don't try to understand the dynamic and just dismiss as, well, that's anime. Kaine is funny, foul-mouthed, typical anime outfit, sometimes sidekick that I liked having around. She's always good for a laugh. Then there's Emil, who turns everything to stone with his sight and merged with his genetically engineered twin and turned into a robed skeleton, making a permanent do-it-faggot face. That's anime! And a pair of talking books. One is your ally, Grimoire YS. Weiss! It's German for white. Okay, and Grimoire Noir. Oh, that's French for black. Ah, thanks, Rosetta Storm. Make no mistake, the game is a dirty, rotten bastard for reusing the same temples in the second half of the game. And come on, a 40-minute reading level? Twice? Yeah, it's self-aware, but let's be real. Was Mr. Rossetti all that funny? Those are really my only complaints. It was just enough anime to be an amazing action game, but also enough sane entertainment that had a nice plot twist that made sense, and a real ending. Now I'm all geared up and ready for Automata. Sonic and All-Star Racing transformed. Well, at least they're not driving carts. All-Star Sonic Transformed Racing appears to be a celebration of Sega's intellectual properties, and a lot of them I never knew about. Hey, is Bayonetta a playable character? She should be here, at least Beehive Hair Bayonetta. That's non-exclusive Sega property. Probably not. But in Smash Bros. Style, it bleeds into foreign properties like Valve, Disney, and Danica Patrick. God, that's just weird. Now, obviously I picked BD Joe as my racer. Yeah, we can have some fun. Transformers Sonic Racing in Disguise, All-Star, distinguishes itself not with transforming cars. That was firmly planted with God karting, but with the transforming tracks, changing routes on certain laps, kinda like Split Second. Alright, no originality points will be awarded. Yes, drive fast to be in first place and go through the boxes to grab power-ups that has its own style of offensive and defensive uses. Nothing to the degree of a shell of unnamed color, but the item that really stood out was the catcher's mitt on the back of a vehicle. Come on, Sumo Digital, a catcher's mitt in the rear? You can't make the jokes that easy to write. Shinobi. Cherry blossom trees. Advancing through the different challenges will unlock skill balancing for the car. Some skills are unlocked with console mods. That's a funny name. And also amusing because I'm playing on PC. This one is the Dreamcast. Yeah, I got one of those. Mega Drive. Oh, I just call mine a Genesis. The Saturn. Hold on. Yep, right there. I got one of those. Pretty soon I noticed the stars required to progress is increasing much faster than I'm earning them, and the only way to get them faster is to play on the hardest difficulty, and that is just flat impossible meeting expectations of the competition, and Bayonetta is not even playable, and nothing's really keeping me here, and the game has a dirty habit of keeping the rubble going after a race. Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Oh boy, this was one that many were asking about, but I had no plans to play it. I envisioned it as an inescapable nightmare. First, I'm still suffering from my 2011 joke uttered in my Metal Gear Solid 4 adventure. And second, my small circle of friends explained to me that this is only 2/3 of a game. The last part was cut during the Kojima Konami snafu. Further, I did play Ground Zeroes on PlayStation 4 and everything just felt wrong. Why are we returning to Big Boss? Jack Bauer's the voice of Big Boss? And I'm so confused by the Metal Gear timeline, I'm not ready to put any more villains in my head and try to figure out their placement. And Ground Zeroes ends with such a horrid jumble of emotions that I really don't want to jump into another Metal Gear experience with no ending. But I do have a copy. Can you guess where I picked it up? Ding ding ding, the Toys R Us going at a business sale. Can you tell I'm doing this video on a budget? The game starts with Big Boss in a hospital 9 years after the events of Ground Zeroes, which, I can't lie, I had to read an online synopsis to figure out. Oh, no shit, that was Mother Base? Built in Peace Walker? Man, I missed a good chunk of history since Snake Eater. Then we proceed to another depressing and confusing and very long prologue of Big Boss escaping killers infiltrating the hospital, handicapped with atrophied legs and missing an arm. Oh, Phantom Pain. I get it. Parlaying into the actual game, Ocelot, yeah, I love to reload during battle, Ocelot, takes you to Afghanistan, and now it's 1984, so the Russians are there. This is where you'll weaken XOF forces, whoever that is, and recruit to rebuild Mother Base. The game is broken into episodes. Yeah, Kojima. Complete with in and out credits. Yeah, Kojima. The missions are usually assassinate, capture, extract, take control, and stealth has never been more important. If you're seen, just quit and retry. Because of the open world nature of the game, everyone is coming for you. There are a couple of things working in your favor in number 5. A favorite of mine since Modern Warfare 2, free bullet time. The moment you are seen, you get a perfect dark combat boost and get a chance to headshot. Doesn't work so well at a distance though. And forget hiding the anesthetized, tranquilized, you can balloon them out of here and have them join Mother Base. I thought this was sick Japanese humor when I first saw it, but nah, it's a major gameplay mechanic. And it's fun for the entire family. I'm going to share an observation I have with Metal Gear Solid 5, and I hope it makes sense. These missions and side missions, going into the same locations, extract, assassinate, extract, capture, this repetition, it feels like a real game. What I mean is, Metal Gear Solid, to me, has always represented a very special experience, particularly the first and Snake Eater. Phantom Pain isn't bad, just not special? After a few hours, I knew I was having fun with a permanent stealth mindset, but in another Metal Gear Solid, within a few hours I was falling rats in vents, smoking to see lasers, and watching my GameCube controller move telepathically. For real, the game could flip out and get amazing at some point. Capturing Quiet was pretty close to the Metal Gear Crazy pedigree. I guess I'll never know because I had to quit at episode 12, where I had to extract Emmerich, spoiler, from the middle of an enemy base with the security detail of a gunship and a few bite-sized Metal Gears. Yeah, Kojima! It took an entire day for me to clear it without dying in the middle. The eventual solution was take out one guard, send him away, then jump on a horse, ride around, order a supply drop, just something to create a false checkpoint before giving myself the all clear to proceed to the next guard. So what? I'm submitting this opinion of the game without completing the game. Wouldn't be the first time with a Metal Gear game. That's right, kids. I never beat Metal Gear Solid 4. I'm so not legit. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. There's a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with. From bikes to trains to video games, it's the best toy place there is. Gee whiz, I don't want to grow up, because if I did, I wouldn't be a Toys R Us kid. Bump, bump. The idea of the podium came from the 2016 election, but that theme faded over time. The body was constructed with cardboard boxes and covered with paper grocery bags to give it a uniform color. Being so light, it couldn't stand on its own, so the Left 4 Dead medkit sat at the bottom to hold it up straight. Dog hair and all. Props could be held at the makeshift shelf in the middle of the podium. My podium was made with love, and I look forward to keeping it around the studio for years to come.
Yo, dog, I heard you like yo-yos, so we put yo dog in a yo-yo so you can yo-yo yo dog while you dog yo-yos. Dog.
Look at the doggy. Look at the dog. Over there, on TV. Look. Over there. Turn your head. Look, on TV. Look at the dog. God damn it, you asshole. Look at the fucking dog.
Aw shit! Metro Last Light coming to Wii U! Aw shit! Crisis coming to On Live! Aw shit! Burnout 3's coming to GameCube!
I'm hearing some crazy things, guys, telling me it's legit.
Damn right, man. We totally smoked it.
Hey,
And remember, we'll be watching you, pal. We'll know if you start jacking off.
fuck authority. Hit your ass in the head with my 40.
Gears of War Ultimate Edition.
Hey, that's on that.
Oh, you mean this?
Yeah, that looks like on that and that.
Emergency.
A gas fire. That was scary. Wow, that hurts.
That all day long.
Hello? Come in. Come in. Fuck, that's hot.
Bangarang!
Beast.
Bang!
Wow, wow, wow.
Wow!
Well,
Bangarang!
wow, wow, wow.
Wow! Feel the